I want you to allow me to paint you a picture for a moment. And I mean that quite literally. So I want you to pay deep attention to how you respond to this picture. I want you to imagine you are standing at the edge of the ocean. It's very early hours of the morning. The sun is just coming up. And I want you just to be in that space. Let it land. Now tell me what just happened in your mind. Did you see it? Did you visualize it? Did you feel something within you? Maybe the sand underneath your feet, or the temperature, or maybe just the air that is surrounding you? Or did a sound come in first for you? The waves crashing onto the shore, maybe the wind, swishing through, swishing by. Whatever came in first, that tells you something really significant about how your mind really works. In NLP, we call these representational systems. They are the internal language your brain uses to process and store experiences. And most people have absolutely no idea that they have a preferred one, okay? There are 5 of them. There is visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. Now, the last 2, smell and taste, they tend to come in the strongest with very emotional loaded memories. You know that experience where you smell something and suddenly you are completely transported to a moment from like 15 years ago? That is why. But for most of us, in how we think, how we communicate, and how we process new information, the dominant ones are the first 3. What we see, what we hear, and what we actually feel on the inside. And here is where it gets genuinely fascinating for me anyway. The language we use in everyday conversations gives it away completely. A visual person will say things like, I see what you mean. Or that looks right to me. Or can you paint me a picture of that? Whereas an auditory person, which is something that I run quite frequently, the person would say things like, that really resonates. I hear you. That doesn't sound quite right. However, we've got then the kinesthetic person will say things like, I just cannot get a grip on this. Or something doesn't feel right. It feels off. Or that really landed for me. We do this unconsciously all day long, every single day, in every moment of your life, you've been playing this role. Now imagine you're a leader, a parent, a coach, a therapist, and you do not even know this information. You are presenting information in your systems from your place to someone operating in something completely different one to you. You cannot figure out why they are not getting it, why they seem switched off from you, why communication keeps breaking down. It is not because something is wrong with them. You are literally speaking very different languages. It's not landing. I've sat across from people in therapy rooms who have carried so much frustration about not being understood in relationships, in workplaces, in families. And a lot of that friction dissolves the moment they understand this lesson. Not because the other person changed, but because they now have the awareness to flex into that change so they can get the message across from them. In the practitioner training, we spend real time on this because it is not just a personality, curiosity thing. It is a communication tool. Once you can identify someone's preferred systems and match it, the connection you create is quite immediate, the rapport is built, and it's very deep. Once you understand your model, then you understand why you bounce off people and you repel, as opposed to connecting so deeply. You're like, ooh, you have that sense of awareness. So you don't blame and shame. You don't feel judged because you know their model of the world. As we spoke in a few other videos, the map isn't the territory. You could understand we're coming from different views. And now when you know that we have 5 senses that we're running off and your sense doesn't land with this person, when you have the knowledge, which now you cannot unlearn, it puts you in a position where you've got more emotional intelligence, maturity to navigate what's going on. People eventually feel quite understood in a way they often cannot name it. They just know something shifted when you speak to them in that model of their world. This is one of the things that makes NLP so extremely practical. It is not just theory that you sit with. It is something that you walk out of the training room and then you use it, the very conversation that you have after that. And if you are very curious about what a full 5-day immersed, in this would look like, immersion, check out the link that I have below. The NLP FastTrack Practitioner Training is where all of this comes to life experientially, not just conceptually, not just theory. We're not reading books and letting you think that you got to figure it out on your own. No, we are teaching what we know to be true and what does work. Then we're getting you to have the experience with another student until you perfect it. And then when you walk out of that space every evening, you go and apply it on the family and you try and practice and practice and practice. And you continue to practice until you perfect it with every human being around you. That is emotional intelligence, wouldn't you say? I mean, it cannot get more practical than that. I love NLP. I think it should be in every school. It's a foundational theory, practical, understood, taught, expands awareness of every human being if everyone understood this. If you learn this, you can go and heal so many things in your life from within you and with the relationship that you have within the people around you in that circle. I hope to see you in the next video.